We yum dog today, boys and girls. Yum dog. All right, let's go. Hey everyone, my name's Jason. I'm a community manager at Coffee Stain Studios, and today we're actually not really talking about Update 5, sort of, kind of. I know every week we said we're going to be, new information about Update 5. This week, not really, but what we are talking about is a little bit important, a bit pressing, and it is actually in anticipation for Update 5. So there's going to be an engine update coming to the experimental branch for Satisfactory very soon, and that is us upgrading the engine, Unreal Engine, to 4.26, which is what Update 5 is actually using. So we want to get the engine part of Update 5 out and tested with you guys first, get some feedback, fix some bugs, and then we can translate those fixes over to Update 5 so that when Update 5 does launch, it'll be a little bit more solid. So you might be wondering, when is this update going to be coming? And you know what? So do I. Actually, I don't know at the time of recording. I don't know when this is coming, but I do know someone who does know, and his name is Future Jace. So Future Jace, if you could just let us, when is it coming? 21st of September. There you go. Okay. Christmas coming early. All right. Something to look forward to. We do expect the update to be a little bit unstable, so it is. If you don't want to take part of the experimental update, if you want a more stable experience, you can play on the early access version right now. At the moment, before this engine update comes out, early access and experimental are the same version of the game, so you can freely switch between them. I do recommend that no matter what, whether you're switching now or later, whenever you switch between them, just back up your save files. I'll leave in the description below the path to your save files that you can just copy paste into your file explorer. Yeah, make sure you just back up your saves just in case if you try the experimental and it doesn't work, but then now your save files aren't really compatible with the early access version, So back them up. So I hear you, Jace. Okay, an engine update is coming. Cool, but what does that mean? Listen, Timmy, I got you, okay? So the first thing that it means is that mods will break. So people who use mods, your mods will break. But something to keep in mind is right now, before the engine update happens, early access and experimental are the same, so the mods should still work, continue to work on the early access. So if you play with mods, after the engine update happens, you'll probably have to play on early access branch until the modding community does fix up the mods. Something that a lot of people have been sort of excited for with this 4.26 update to the Unreal Engine is that there's like a plugin for DLSS support. And a lot of people have been asking us, will you be adding DLSS support then, since this is coming in 4.26? Will you be adding it? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no DLSS support, at least not yet. The reason for this is not an interesting one. It's just that we didn't have testing environments for it. So we haven't actually implemented it or tested it yet. But we are looking into getting a testing environment for it, and we will look into adding DLSS support. I don't know if we will do it or not, but we will sort of work on it a little later. So, however, we feel it's kind of like a lower priority right now because we think that people who have hardware that support DLSS, people with high-end PCs, are likely going to be CPU bound anyway because of the nature of our game and bottlenecks within our game. And so having DLSS is probably not going to give you much of a performance boost anyway in most of the cases. So the next thing that's coming in the update is going to be improvements to the conveyor belt rendering system. We think that these improvements that we've made should make the conveyor belts a little less taxing on people's CPUs. The last thing that's coming in the engine update is going to be Vulkan and DX12 support. This is something that a lot of people have asked for, and we have trialed an experimental DX12 in the past before, and it did not work. This time we're a little more confident that it's going to work. It's not super experimental, but we do still expect there to be some issues, and again, this is why we need people to test this stuff. So if you want to enable Vulkan or DX12, you can do that in the game. In the options menu, there'll be an option. If you have any issues with starting the game up, like if you set it to DX12, but now the game crashes on start and you can't revert it back to DX11 or something, you can make changes to the config file and force whatever mode you want to use. I'll leave some information in the description below how to do that, where the config file is and what commands to change. And also you can use command line options or launch options in order to force the game to load up in either Vulkan, DX11 or DX12. And I'll leave those commands in the description below as well in case anyone needs to, in case you need to use those for whatever reason. Okay, so that's all well and good, but what's DX12 and Vulkan going to do for you? We think that most people, maybe not everybody, but we think most people who can run DX12 or Vulkan will end up experiencing performance improvements. That's not going to be for everyone. It completely depends on your specific hardware and your specific build in Satisfactory, where your bottlenecks lie. But we do think that, it should, in general, give a little bit of a performance boost. And that's pretty much all that's going to be coming. So I hope you're looking forward to the engine update. Really hope that some of you folks jump on the experimental branch to test it and provide us feedback so that we can improve the engine update improve stability, and those changes will ultimately improve the stability of Update 5 when that does come out as well. So thank you all very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, do consider giving it a like, and if you want to keep up to date with Update 5 news, because every week, except this week, leading up to Update 5, we're going to be putting out information or teaser trailers for Update 5. Next week will be Update 5 content, so do consider subscribing, ringing the little bell so you can be notified as soon as the video goes up, all right? So thank you all very much for watching. Have a lovely day and a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. So you might be wondering, when is this update going to be coming? And you know what? So do I, actually. I don't know at the time of recording. I don't know when this is coming, but I do know someone who does know, and his name is Future Jace. So Future Jace, if you could just let us, when is it coming? I have no idea. There you go.